Hey, what's up, Connects out there in High Vibes? In today's video, I just want to talk about, how the agents have been like more bold lately and stuff, and like what that means, what you should be doing, as a spiritual being, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So let's get into it right away, basically. So, if you haven't noticed or been observing a lot lately, the agents have, they've gotten pretty bold with the way they do things, especially the eye gazers and stuff, and them just being more chaotic and more aggressive and agitated and activated, basically. These are all signs and activations by their egos, because of what we're doing as a spiritual community and stuff like that, and us actually coming together and actually putting things in motion, and actually being that spark of light within the darkness, because they don't want that light within the darkness. They want everything to just be dark and no one can find their way out, and they want to be the ones that tell people this is the way out, but all it leads to is the reincarnation cycle. You see, you have to realize when they're turning up in their own way, that means you need to be turning up spiritually, mentally, and physically, and being like, okay, what is it that I need to be doing to get to my higher self, making sure that when it is time to be more healthy, you start to be more healthy. When spirit's giving you the confirmations, do certain like cleansing and stuff like that, and actually turn up on your spiritual, mental, and physical game. Go ahead and do that. Actually get in tune with the things that are going to get you in a higher vibration. Start adjusting your life to be in a higher vibration, because they'll try to adjust your life to be in a negative downward spiral. Like, they'll try to do certain programs to basically get you into that that spiral downwards. They'll try to funnel your energy into that that slide, the Alice in Wonderland, and they want to make you all, tell you to have a wonderful day, basically. They want you to be wondering about things in your mind and stuff like that, and they want you to be programmed to a point where you're not even capable of making your own choices and actually being in a higher vibration. See, especially around springtime, you need to make sure that you're actually turning up. You need to make sure that you're hitting all 3 points at your highest potential base and getting ready for the summertime, so that way when it does come around, you have the right energy inside you, so you can get that soul and stuff like that. There's a reason why the agents have been getting activated, because things are turning up. Things are getting more coming together, basically, and we're bringing more of a positive energy on the planet by actually coming together and showing people, and they don't want that. So obviously, when we turn up, they're turning down. So that's the sign for all of you, eat more healthy, drink more water, get off the junk food, get yourself internally cleansed out, and really truly feel that more vital energy inside you, because it's important to have that vital energy. It's important to take care of yourself and honor yourself and honor your PT, honor your spirit, honor your mind, and honor your physical body, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people honor just the ego and what it wants. You got to honor your spirit and be humble and grateful for the things that spirit gives you, so that way you can spread that to other people, because the whole point is about connecting and coming together, and that's the one thing they don't want. So you're gonna see how as we come together, more and more stuff will start to happen. They'll come up with new technologies to get people more divided. They'll basically get more activated to do more bolder things to basically throw people off. They'll talk more in the subnet basically to get into everyone's subconscious, to divide everyone, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to speak into people's subconscious. They're trying to get into people's minds and stuff like that, so that way they can instill those programs and run the scripts on people's subconscious, so that way they start dividing themselves from their spirit family, basically. But see, if you're aware of the signs that are going on in your environment and the subconscious talk and things like that, you're gonna notice when the agents are getting activated. You're gonna see first-handedly how these people operate, and you're gonna be like, oh, so this is what they were talking about when it was in the subconscious and things like that. This is what they were saying when they were doing certain hand mooches, and they were basically saying different trigger words and symbolic references and symbology that they wear and all this different stuff. Once you become aware of that, and what's going to help you is actually just getting in tune with your spiritual meditations, your spiritual duties, and then mental duties, and then your physical duties. And a lot of people don't want to be physically turned up on a certain level by eating more healthier foods and like taking care of their PTU, because that's going to give you more energy. And I just made a video about that, and man, like I can already tell the difference in my energy levels from making that change. It's only been like 3 days, I think. Yeah, 3 days, and I can feel the difference already from making that choice not to do go eat more cookies and stuff like that, because I knew it's time. I know it's time to basically turn up in a certain vibration, so that way I can get into my right vibration. Some people, you got to have the inner will and the inner passion and the inner fire to be able to change your mind state too, because some people, they make it so hard for themselves when really things are simple, because a lot of people that make things super complicated on themselves. But it's it's easy to change your mind state. It really is. You got to be like, all right, I don't need to do this anymore, because I need to focus my energy and my attention to something else that is, more important for myself, and that is, getting in tune with the things that are going to get my vibration higher, things that are going to turn me up, get my awareness higher, be conscious about, things that you're doing in your life, and the things that you're consuming, your activities, and, basically being aware of all your choices and your actions, that lead, to either a more positive or a more negative. You need to be aware of your choices that you're making, if they're making, if you're, choosing a positive route or a negative route. See, because all this stuff that's happening right now is happening because, the choices that we make today in the very present to, make videos like this, help people out and things like that. That's the important part about doing all this is, to really help each other out and see that love within inside each other's heart, because that's the main point, that is the main point, is finding that love and that inner passion and that truth within inside of us. That's the thing that Spirit wants us to find, and then help others find that as well, because that's the most important thing. That's the one thing that the world's missing right now, is that true connectedness with each other, that loving vibration, and really working together, and not having all these barriers and boundaries that people set up for themselves, because if you're setting up boundaries and you're having all these expectations of things, that's your ego basically. And it happens, we all have done this to ourselves, where we've put up barriers because of things that happened in our past. But when you learn to trust, in your higher self, in your spirit, in your heart, you need to let go of those barriers, because those barriers are the things that you're attached to, and those are like physical, emotional attachments that you made for yourself. You can't be doing that stuff. You got to make sure that you continue. Oh, I thought my phone had paused for a second, but it's on 15%. But you got to make sure that you let go of those certain attachments where you think that you need to hold on to something, because at the end of the day, what do you take with you when you leave this place? It's not your mind or your body. You take your spirit. And what is your spirit? It's that love. It's that connectedness. That wholeness that's inside you. So remember that. Remember that. That agents have been, turning up in their own way, but you need to turn up more in your love. You got to learn to, let go of certain things. That way you can truly connect with one another, and you'll see the difference in your energy level. You'll see it once you change, your mind state from, doing things that take away your energy, then you put things back into you that give you energy. You're gonna see how that turns up your life. You're gonna see how it motivates you. You're gonna see how it motivates other people to get more turned up. Not everyone, because some people don't want to make those choices because they've gotten used to and comfortable to those certain things that they do, but they don't want to make those sacrifices to let go of those things, because they've made those attachments. They made those emotional contracts to those certain objects in reality and things like that. But once you let those go, you're gonna see how it frees up your energy. You're gonna be more focused, more disciplined with yourself. You're gonna have more energy to do the things that you want to do in the morning, like I was saying in my last video. You're gonna feel more energized. You're gonna feel more charged up, and you'll feel all these things, and you're gonna notice it. You're gonna start to radiate that more higher frequency, and that more magnetizing energy basically. And you're gonna see it. You'll buzz like a bee. You really will. And it's all happening, in the very present moment. You just got to make that choice, and it all starts with, changing your mind state. Really getting out of that perspective of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. What you really need to do is just turn up spiritually, mentally, and physically. Turn up on all levels. Focus on your heart, and focus on taming your ego within your mind, not focusing always on your mind, and knowing the balance between everything. And then physically making sure you're healthy, drinking waters, getting off the sugars and stuff like that, because there's a time to eat cookies and there's a time to eat the fruits. Now is the time to eat the fruits, and really turn up on that. I highly recommend getting some pineapple. That shit right there, oh man, it'll get you turned up. I ain't lying about that. Like, I had some pineapple this morning after I got done working out, man. I feel so great. Like, oh man, if you haven't worked out and then go eat some fruit afterwards and drink a little bit of water, trust me, you'll feel that charge up inside you. You'll see how the agents will get activated too, because they want that energy and stuff. They'll do a bunch of different symbology. They'll try to throw sexual programs and all this different stuff to get that energy, because when you turn up there, of course they're going to come after that energy, and that's spirit testing you basically to see if you're ready to not let those things get to you basically, and you see those things and be aware of them, and basically transmute the situation and basically turn on up. You basically go through those one-on-ones and you pick up that spiritual call basically. You're like, hey spirit, I'm ready to go. That's the thing you got to do. You got to be ready to go at a moment's notice, and keep going on taking your steps, because it's not, you don't just take one step and you're like, well, I'm done. It's not about just one step. There's infinite number of steps. Life is never ending. There's always more to learn about life. There's always more to do with life. There's new things that you can learn to do. You can learn to speak new languages. You can read new books and stuff, but not all books are good. I'm not saying go and read a bunch of books and stuff. You are your own book. You need to read the reality around you and see what is happening in this matrix system, because this is this whole reality is like a book, you know, just a different form of a book. It doesn't have to be like a cover and little words, you know. Everything that you see is like a book in life, you know. It has a story to it, you know. Every little thing has a story that's deeper than what you think it is. It's just, are you aware of the story that went behind it? You know, are you aware of, you know, the different symbology and the things that take place in this reality, you know. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bullshit too, so, you know, you can find that and be like, okay, this is bullshit, you know, because a lot of people like to make their own history and just write books and say, yeah, this is what happened, but really, you know, not everything happens the way they said it, you know, or even happen that way. But for that matter, you know, and everything that I've said in this video, you know, make sure you're turning up, make sure you're staying shielded out there and staying charged up. Make sure you eat more healthier, you know, and eat mentally healthy too, and be aware of what you feed your mental mind too, you know, what type of videos you're watching and stuff like that. You know, don't be feeding yourself all these different programs and different stuff where you go back in the con cycles and stuff like that, because the mind is where they're trying to get people. The mind is where they're trying to get everyone to basically fall off and basically get them programmed. But that's all I want to say in this video. You know, be aware of the different programs, the symbology, and the agents turning up. You know, just stay shielded out there, stay high in vibes. You know, really turn up on everything. You're gonna see how everything starts to change around in your life, and you know, how spirit starts to guide you with, you know, your higher self, basically. You know, when you get that SNS activated, you know, and really see the deeper meaning and the, you know, the truth behind everything. That's all I want to say in this video. Peace out with my highest of vibrations, my full love to all those are watching, and my highest of gratitude.